Hey everybody. So I stuck a little crunch of the prior video in there, condensed real fast on the bathroom. So this is the shower that I said I was going to do another video for. It was just too much work in the shower to combine it with the other video for the floor. Would have been forever. So here we go. This is a Kerdi shower with a mud, just a single slope pan and a Kerdi membrane on the pan and the walls. And here we are sticking down our felt. We've already sheathed it with 3/4 inch plywood, and we've got our wire mesh down. And here I'm doing my mortar mix. Again, I always mix my own, so I do 4 parts sand to 1 part Portland cement. You want to dampen it and mix it until it'll hold its shape in a ball in your hands. And you're going to want to make a loose mix for the Kerdi drain, which is what you see me doing here. That was a wetter mix. You want to kind of sink the drain into that and get your pitch figured out. I have my pitches around the corner. I've already picked my point based off of the drain and the furthest dimension, and now I'm just using a level to track that around, and then you'll see I'll double check it with the laser. And you know, infill the middle. And apologies for that light, but I didn't realize it was in the camera like that, so it is what it is. So it's really critical that you get this pan perimeter established, and you want to make sure it's exactly right, because it's going to affect all the work you have to do on the first course of tile. If it's off at all, you're going to have to mess around with custom cutting tiles to deal with that out of level run for your first course. So this is a Detra heat in here. We ran the Detra heat in the shower and the bathroom and the floor, as explained in the previous videos. So that's going to get into some unique situations with the drain, which I'll explain ahead. But here's the I dry fit my Detra and get it all sized, and then we're going to use a 5/16 V-notch trowel, get that all keyed in and troweled out, and then we'll set our mat in there, and we're ready for the membrane. And what I did is now I actually called Schluter, and I got their this is how they actually advised me to do this. So I have not done I don't think I've ever done a Detra heat in a shower before, so I called them on this drain. I needed to know exactly how they wanted it done. So when you set the Kerdi drain, it's supposed to be set in a loose mortar bed. So if I was to try to pull it back out while it was still soft, I would probably flake it out and have issues. So what they recommend is to set the drain like you normally would in your mortar pan, let it cure up, and then push the drain back out and set it back in there. So I've done that. I'm now setting the Kerdi drain flush with the Detra, so that when I put my Kerdi membrane on, I can seal that right down to the drain like you typically would. So I had access to plumbing underneath, so none of this was an issue. It was just figuring out how to do it and make sure that Schluter was okay with the installation. So the fit is literally it's a glue fit. So you saw me back there tapping it in gently. So here's the wire. We're running that. Again, in this case, I used 1/2 inch drywall for my curb. It's completely supported underneath, so there's no voids. You can't crush it or anything like that, and that allowed me to cut in my wire. But you could use the Schluter foam curbs, or Schluter board. Yeah, you could use any, or Kerdi board. Sorry, you could use anything like that for the curbs. So we're putting the wire in here, and then you cut in your thermostats. It's always wise to put in a couple of thermostats. Thermostat links, in case one fails, you always have that backup. And here we're putting the fleece in. So you're going to see as I do this curb that I'm gonna waterproof everything. I would recommend anybody doing using Kirti in a shower. I would recommend that you buy some extra inside and outside corners. If you have a perfectly square shower and you're not going to do any niches, you'll be fine with the standard kit that comes with the drain. The drain comes with 4 inside corners and 4 outside corners. What I like to do is waterproof all the way down to the floor and across the wall a little bit on the curb, so that you don't ever get any water wicking from your shower, so that it's completely sealed. Essentially, the entire bathroom is waterproofed about 3 inches away from the shower, so there's just no chance you could ever have mold. And you can see I did the wall fleece, so I put the Kerdi membrane on the walls. I did not cut it. That saves you from having to tape the corners and build that up more. So I like to roll my Kerdi sideways, horizontally like that, and then I just squeegee it out and tape just the bottom seams. But if you wanted to, you could just cut your sheets and you could put them on that way as well. Alright, so I'll probably speed up the video, but you can see here I'm screeding on the second layer of Kerdi. And again, you could butt this and tape the joint between the two, but I just lapped mine the full 2 inches, and that does everything it needs to as far as waterproofing. So you squeegee it out, make sure you have no ripples, make sure you have no hollows, no lumps. And this is the end of my sheet, and I'll just put another piece there. And so when I get around the corner, I'll wrap my entire curb there, or wall edge, with the Kerdi as well. And I'm doing the shower niche. And again, if you're going to do a shower niche like that, you're going to need 4 outsides and insides just for that. So I always make sure you order a bunch extra on those. So on the tile here for the drain, I laid my tile out from the drain out to the wall. It just happened to work out perfectly on this shower with this specific tile. And it really looks cool because you have 4 of the mosaics, the black mosaic inserts, land right on the corner of the Kerdi drain grate. And so you just get that when you walk in the shower, look in the shower, you just see that symmetry. Everything radiates from the drain, and there's no small tile cuts at the wall, so just happened to lay out that way by doing it that way. I was very happy with it. So again, if you're new to tile, I would highly recommend that you look up Sal de Blasi's channel if you are looking for educational tips. He is a wealth of information. So starting the tile out here, we're using a 6-inch by 3-inch porcelain wall tile, shower tile, white subway tile. And your first course is critical, so you want to make sure that first course is perfectly level around the shower. So take as much time as you need, do not rush it. That it takes twice as long as the rest of the tile per course, getting that first course set. And I like to set my Schluter, get all my borders and perimeters set, so I set my Schluter edge here. That's how we chose to do the tile. You could do a bull-nosed edge tile or some sort of accent tile, but this customer wanted to use the Schluter, so we get that edge set and begin the tile. So as you're going in any of the corners, as I go higher, I think you'll see it'll become more obvious, but you want to make absolutely sure there is no thin set buildup in the joints at any intersection between planes. So the tile does expand and contract, and you need to make sure that those corners are open so they can be filled with a sealant to match your grout, either a sanded latex to match a sanded grout or an unsanded of the same color. Most grout companies make matching caulk. And in this case, I had very fine grout lines, so like the upstairs shower, there's actually foam dowel rod in the corner, but on this one there is not. This one is just a caulked corner because it's about a 3/16 inch deep gap for the tile. It's a very shallow tile with tight spacing. So I'm going to speed this up here, and then we'll get to the herringbone. So one thing I would add is it's going to help you a lot if you're trying this for yourself. You want to make absolutely sure that everything is plumb and level, because if you do that, all of these tiles I cut from top to bottom in the shower, there was not a single tile that was different. I was able to mass produce the corner pieces of the same size all the way up, and that makes a tremendous amount of efficiency when you can do it that way. So anyway, onto the herringbone. I laid this out on the floor, and I put the herringbone together. So I had everything pre-cut, and then when you get to the corner, that actually weaves around the corner, so it just looks like the herringbone runs around the entire shower. So we did a 1 foot tall herringbone glass tile in center mosaic here, and then we'll continue with the white. So we're on to grout here, and this is a white unsanded grout, which is required because it's 1/8 inch grout joints on most of it. So get all this troweled in, and again, as I noted, the corners, all of the intersections between the planes are being left open, and I don't have any footage of the shelf there, but we took the floor tile, reversed the pattern, and reversed the grout actually in that shower niche. So it's the same floor tile, but reverse pattern run that way. So we're wiping it down, and then what we'll do is finish out the video with the shower door, which is a nice glass oil rub bronze shower door, and the faucet and shower head installation, as well as the silicone caulking that is put in all of the expansion joints, and that's being done right there. So if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, definitely leave a like, leave a comment. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And share it around, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Hopefully we're going to be getting into more woodworking in the future here. I am just trying to essentially clean up the last of my footage before my big move across the country. So this is one of the last big projects I had before we did that move.